Hello and welcome to On the Mat with Lydia, that's me. And whatever has brought you to your yoga practice today, you are very welcome here. Today's practice is an invigorating yoga core class. So when I say core, I don't just mean the front abdominals, but also the side and back muscles, as well as the glutes and the inner thighs. So our practice today is very well-rounded. We're going to hit each one of those areas, and we'll find some intensity within this flow today. So there will be some poses that you recognize as we move through this yoga flow, but there might be some moves that are new to you and a little bit challenging. So as always, please listen to your body, trust yourself first, and take this practice to the place where you need it to go today. Rest is always available to you when you need it. We have that sweet child's pose if you want to take that at any point throughout the practice. And whenever you're ready, let's get on the mat. Let's begin in a comfortable seated position on the mat. So if you're not already there, please make your way to a seat. Taking a moment to rock around, find that sweet spot in the center of your sits bones. And from there, lengthen up nice and tall through your spine, dropping your shoulders down your back, bringing your gaze straight forward, and either softening that gaze or allowing your eyes to completely close. Taking these first few moments on your mat today to really arrive, feeling yourself in this space on your yoga mat, feeling present in your body with your breath, and allowing yourself to let go of any plans, any to-do lists that might be coming up for the rest of the day. This is your time right now to be with yourself, to move your body, to get to know yourself a little bit better. And today we'll really be tapping into our strength, this well of power that we all hold within us. And so we'll start our practice with the breath, as we always do. And we'll start to warm up this area of the core before we get into the more intense strengthening practice. So right here and now, as you breathe, can you feel your breath moving through your torso? And maybe you feel that in your chest, your rib cage, your belly. Now, without effort, without forcing, can you expand your breath so that it reaches not only the front of your torso, but it also reaches out into your sides and into your back body. So we have this 360-degree breath going on. So with each inhale, feeling that expansion, almost like you're blowing up a balloon. With your exhale, naturally just relaxing the body. And noticing what happens down around your belly button on that exhale. And hopefully you're feeling that natural hugging in of your belly button falling in towards your spine. So take just a few more breaths with your belly relaxed to feel that rise and fall, that expansion and release. Let's stick with that steady breath as we bring in a little bit of movement to the body. So with your next natural inhale, drawing your shoulders back, bringing your heart forward. With your exhale, rounding your shoulders, sending your spine back. As you inhale, rocking forward, bringing your heart forward. As you exhale, rocking back, rounding back. Let's take about 3 more rounds of this seated cat and cow. Warming up your spine, waking up this whole central area of the body. So yes, it's important to keep our core strong. It's the center of balance. It keeps us supported. It keeps us functional in our bodies. But we also want to balance that out with this malleability, this flexibility of the core space. With your next inhale, please send your heart forward. But now as you exhale, take your chest over to the right, round yourself back, and then come over to the left, making circles with your torso. So taking this slow, continuing with that steady rhythm of breath. And now making these nice big circles here, rocking around on the sits bones, waking up all these nooks and crannies of the core. And if you haven't already, please switch directions with those circles. Take a few rotations the other way. Beautiful. Let's slowly start to make those circles a little bit smaller until eventually you come back to seated, upright on those sits bones, spine lengthening to the sky. And we're going to move that circling up into the shoulders, bringing your shoulders up to your ears and then down your back. Let's take a few rotations here, letting the arms stay heavy by your sides as you circle through the shoulders. As best you can, softening the muscles around your face, around your neck, your throat, so we can create just a little bit more space up here around the shoulders. And when you're ready, we're going to drop this circling motion down into the wrists. So bringing your shoulders to stillness, let's start to make circles through the wrists here. And if you'd like, you can also play with spreading your fingers wide and then closing your hands into fists. You might switch directions here or take some figure eights. Just finding a little bit of movement here. We're going to be doing a bit of weight bearing on the hands today. So getting our arms warmed up and ready as well. Awesome. Now dropping your hands back down to your thighs. Let's sit up tall for another moment here. And now as you inhale, feel that expansion, that 360 breath. As you exhale, feel your navel gently hugging back in towards your spine, and this time hold it there. So now we're going to keep that core engagement as we inhale higher into the rib cage, but keep that 360. As you exhale, reinforce that connection to the core, gently hugging in and up. Let's try that one more time in stillness, inhaling higher into the rib cage. Exhaling, feel that hugging in. Great, let's keep that core engagement as we make our way onto hands and knees. So finding your tabletop position here, let's stack the shoulders just about over the wrists, the hips over the knees. And before we do anything else, let's find that core engagement. So again, taking that inhale into your rib cage. As you exhale, feeling your belly button lift up towards your spine. Feeling it might take a little bit more effort now that we have gravity working with us. Let's tuck our toes here now. We're going to take that same cat-cow action we did seated, but we're going to add on just a little bit of invigoration. So as you inhale, tilting the pelvis up, lifting your heart. As you exhale, rounding your spine, but now lifting your knees just to hover a couple inches off the floor. Gently dropping the knees down, inhale, find that cow. Exhale, rounding into cat, lifting up just to hover. Good, let's keep this going. Inhaling, find your cow pose. Exhaling, round into your cat, lift the navel, lift the knees. 2 more like this. Inhale, cow. Exhale, round into cat and hover. Well done. Last round here. Inhale. Exhale, round your spine, lift your knees, hold it here. Take another inhale, feel your strength. As you exhale, send your hips up and back, coming into downward facing dog. Beautiful. Take a moment to readjust as needed so that you can plant through your hands, plant through your feet. Maybe take a little movement, pedaling the heels, shaking the hips. Then with your next inhale, shift your weight forward until your shoulders stack over your wrists and find your plank pose. Notice if you had to move your hands or your feet to get here, keep them where they are now in your plank. Keeping those foundations of the hands and the feet, let's send the hips up and back once again into downward facing dog. Try not to move the hands or feet. Now we'll start to move with the breath here, keeping that core connection the entire time. Inhaling, shift your weight forward into your plank. As you exhale, hugging the navel in as you send your hips up and back. Good, moving with your breath. Inhale, rocking your weight forward. Exhale, sending the hips back. Please take about 3 more rounds on your own. Feeling not just the strength of your core, but the strength of your arms as your hands press down into the mat. We feel the upper arm bones hugging in, giving us the strength into the shoulders. So the entire body is really working for you here. Beautiful. The next time that you inhale and shift forward towards your plank, please pause there. As you exhale, gently drop your knees. Send your chest all the way down to the mat. Let's come onto the stomach. Please keep your hands framing your chest just where you came down. And then roll the fronts of your shoulders up away from the floor. So your shoulder blades are hugging together. That front edge of your shoulder is trying to get away from the mat. Now anchoring down through your hips, through your feet. Take an inhale to rise your chest just a couple inches into baby cobra. See if you can take some weight out of your hands, maybe even hover the palms as we take another inhale here. As you exhale, gently lower everything back down to the mat. Again, with your inhale, rising your head and chest, find your back bend. As you exhale, lower down with control. Please take 3 more rounds at your own pace here. Really tapping into the strength through the back line of the body. So as I mentioned, your core is not just your front abdominals, it's this whole circumference of the body. So we're really tapping into all of that strength here today. Beautiful. The next time that you exhale, landing your forehead back down to the mat. As you inhale, press through your palms to rise back up through all fours. And then send your hips back towards your heels, coming back into child's pose. Invitation here today to bring the arms back behind you, turning your palms face up, giving your wrists a little break here as we pause in between movements. Finding once again that 360 breath. And for now, letting your belly relax, so releasing that core engagement. As I said, we want that balance between the strength and the mobility here, the strength and the softness. So just as much as we're engaging the core today, we also want to give some space to relax that effort. Let the body integrate. So for now, let's take one more big breath in here. Exhale, let it out with a sigh or a sound. With your inhale, slowly rising back up towards your all fours. Once again, we'll plant through the palms, tuck the toes behind you, and send your hips up and back to your downward facing dog. Setting up your feet just about hips width distance, maybe slightly wider today, so that you can feel balanced on one foot. So let's try shifting our weight over to the left foot here. Send your right leg back behind you, three-legged dog. Keep pushing into your palms to give you some support from the arms. And then feel that you can square off your hips. So dropping that right hip down in line with your left. Let's take another inhale here. As you exhale, lightly land that right foot, come back to your down dog. Let's try that on the other side. So shifting your weight to your right foot. Inhale, send the left leg back. Again, feel your weight kind of center out here. So left hip drops down in line with the right. Navel hugs in and up. Let's take one more breath in here. As you breathe out, slowly lower that left foot to the mat. All right, let's keep it going. Let's add on. Shifting your weight to your left foot. Inhale, send your right leg back, three-legged dog. As you exhale, shift your weight forward towards your plank, bringing your right knee in towards your nose. Then inhale, sending your right leg back, three-legged dog. Exhale, this time bring your right knee forward towards your right armpit. Feel that core connection as you slide your knee down towards your wrist. And then lift your knee back up towards your armpit. Send your hips up and back, three-legged dog. Good, adding on one more time. Inhale here, three-legged dog. Exhale, shift your weight forward, knee to right armpit. Sliding your knee down towards your right wrist. Shift over towards that left wrist. Keep hugging the navel in. And then squeeze to lift up towards your left armpit. Good. Shift your weight towards your right hand. Drop your left heel. As you inhale, kick that right foot out. Reach your left arm up. Option to drop that foot down instead. Fall in triangle. Push through that right hand. Lift the hips. Take another inhale here. As you exhale, bring your left hand down. Right knee to the chest. Beautiful. Step that right foot up to the top of your mat. Sweet relief. Drop that back knee down and let's find our low lunge. So when you're ready, take an inhale to rise your arms all the way up, finding your low lunge shape. Taking a nice break for the wrists here. It might feel nice to roll them out a little bit. And taking a moment here to just come back into your breath. So for now, we're going to keep that core engagement, keep the navel hugging in and up, but find that steady rhythm of inhales and exhales. Breathing into the rib cage, 360 all around the ribs, and then exhaling to reinforce that connection through the core. Beautiful job. Please tuck your back toes behind you now. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, start to lift your back knee, keeping the hips low as you find your high crescent lunge. Good, let's take an inhale here. As you exhale, open up to warrior two. Back heel drops down, arms reach out to a T. Take a moment to readjust your footing as needed so that you can find that heel to arch alignment and really root down through both feet as evenly as possible. Let's take another breath in right here. And breath out. Inhale, reach your right arm up and back. Exhale, settle into your reverse warrior. Left hand gently resting down on the left leg, right arm reaching up and over, giving you a nice stretch through the side waist. Now feel that as we're standing here, we're keeping that core connection to keep us strong and supported in this shape. Let's take one more inhale here. Please stay for the exhale. With your next inhale, start to straighten through your front leg. As you exhale, upright your spine, reach both arms straight up to the sky. Anchor down through your feet. As you inhale, kick your left hip back. As you exhale, reach your arms out to a diagonal. So you're making this long line from your left hip to your left fingertips. See if your chest is starting to drop towards the mat. See if instead you can roll your rib cage open towards the sky. So we're creating our triangle shape, but without the support of the hands. Now, of course, if you want it, that right hand can drop down, giving you a little bit more of that kickstand. But see this work, feel this work into your obliques, those outer abdominals here. Let's stay for one more inhale. And exhale completely. Good. Inhale, rise up through center. As you exhale, drop your hands to your hips. Turn your right toes to the long edge of your mat. Inhale here to get tall. Exhale, fold forward between your legs. Dropping your hands down as you arrive. Resting your hands maybe on the mat, on blocks, maybe reaching for the ankles. But giving yourself a moment here to now relax that core connection, relax the belly. And take a few slow, even breaths here. Giving your body a moment to integrate all this strengthening work that we've just done. Let's take one more inhale here. And exhale. As you inhale, walk your hands towards the top of your mat. All 10 toes turn forward to a lunge. Planting your palms, step back into downward facing dog. If you need a few more moments here, please feel free to drop down to seated or to child's pose. Take a few breaths, maybe roll out the wrists. But when you're ready, we're going to take all that to the other side. So from your downward facing dog, shifting weight to your right foot. Let's inhale, sweep the left leg back. As you exhale, shift your weight forward, knee to nose, rounding your spine like cat pose. Then inhale, send your leg up and back. Exhale, left knee to left armpit. Keep control as you slide your knee down towards your wrist. Squeeze and lift back up to your armpit. And then send your hips up and back. Reach the left leg back, three-legged dog. One more here. Inhale. As you exhale, left knee to left armpit. Slide down to the left wrist. Move it over to the right wrist. And then lift up into the right armpit. You got it. Shift your weight to the left hand. Drop your inner right heel. Kick that left foot out as you reach your right arm up, finding fallen triangle. So you have the option to keep that foot on the ground, or you can see how it feels to lift it up. Get that inner thigh involved. Let's take one more inhale here. Exhale, right hand down, left knee to chest. Well done. Step that left foot to the top of your mat. Drop your right knee down. Let's set up for low lunge. I don't know about you, but I'm trembling a little bit here. That's a good sign. That means your body is working. Wherever you are, breathe into it. As you find your low lunge, take an inhale to rise your arms. As you exhale, settle in. So again here, even though we're taking a bit of a pause, we're going to keep that core connection. So we're starting to see how we integrate this core connection in every single yoga class that we do. Bringing that core in for a little bit more support and strength when we're in shapes like this low lunge. So feel that as you cultivate that core connection, you can lengthen up a little bit taller through your spine, letting your tailbone lengthen down towards the earth, and feeling all this space through the side waist as you do that. Good. From here, please tuck your back toes behind you. Take one more inhale here. As you exhale, begin to lift your back knee, keeping the hips low, finding your high crescent lunge. Really nice. Let's take an inhale here. As you exhale, open all the way up to your warrior two. First few breaths, use them to readjust as needed, finding that new alignment through your feet. Then feeling this same lengthening of the spine that we just did in low lunge. So tailbone lengthening down, crown of the head reaching up, and what's holding all that together? That core connection. So right here, let's take one more breath in. And breath out. Inhale, reaching the left arm up and back, moving to reverse warrior. As you exhale, recommit to that bend in your front knee. Creating a little bit more space for that left side waist here. Keeping your breath up in your rib cage, that same expansive inhale, and contracting on the exhale, reinforcing that core connection. Let's stay for one more breath in right here. And breath out. As you inhale, start to straighten through your front leg. Exhale, upright your spine, both arms reach for the sky. Inhale, kick your right hip back. As you exhale, reach your upper body forward to diagonal. Create this long line through the right side body. Now notice your front knee is going to stay soft, so a little bit bent, but your feet are really pushing up and away from the mat. Arms are hugging in towards your ears, so we have this strong pulling in, this hugging to center going on through the upper body. Now remember, you can always drop that left hand down if you want to. You're still going to get the same strengthening in this pose. So wherever you are, let's take one more inhale. Please stay for the exhale. Really hug in to lift up as you inhale. Exhale, hands float down to your hips. Turn your left toes to face the long edge of your mat. Beautiful. Please take an inhale here. As you exhale, hinge from your hips to fold forward between your legs. Allowing your hands to rest down wherever they naturally fall. Keeping the same press down through your feet, this softness to your knees, so that you can really relax the upper body here. Letting go of that hugging in at the belly so that you can find that 360-degree breath. Through the belly, through the back, through the ribs, through the chest. And let's take one more inhale here. Exhale completely. As you inhale, walk your hands towards the top of your mat, turning all 10 toes forward into a lunge. And then planting your palms, step back into your downward facing dog. Taking just one more breath in here for our practice today. And as you breathe out, lightly land your knees onto the mat, finding all fours, tabletop position. Please keep your hips stacked just above the knees. Begin to walk your hands towards that top edge of your mat. As the arms reach out, let your chest mount down, coming into your puppy pose. So maybe your forehead comes all the way down to the mat, maybe not. Wherever you are, just see that the hips can stay lifted and the arms can reach out so that you have all this space in the line underneath the armpits into your side waist. So as you breathe here, we're stretching into the chest, the upper back, the arms. But if you start to feel any pinching or pulling in your lower back, then bring in that core connection, hugging your navel in and up. And we'll stay for just another 3 rounds of breath here. Coming back to this steady rhythm of breathing in and out through your nose. And with your next natural inhale, press into your palms to slowly rise back up towards all fours. But we're going to keep moving that energy back, sending your hips back towards your heels, walking yourself all the way back into child's pose. Now, option for an arm variation here if you're still feeling pretty tight in the shoulders and the upper arms, especially after all that weight bearing. You can bring your palms together in a prayer. Keep your elbows anchored down, but lift your fingertips to the sky. So we're making this little shark fin with the arms. And wherever you are, let's take a big breath in through the nose. Sigh it out through your mouth. Letting go of any excess heat built up in the body. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Let's take one more like that. Inhale through your nose. Sigh it out. And with your inhale, slowly rise up and find a seated position on your mat. So as you make your way onto your bum, find that center point of your mat so you have some space back behind you. And we'll start here by planting the feet about hips width distance. Hands will come to the backs of the thighs. So we have just a little bit more strengthening work to do here for the core before we completely cool it down, stretch it out. So let's set up here for our boat pose. So sitting up tall on your sits bones, let's roll the shoulders back and down. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, rock back as you hug the navel in. Create this C curve through the lower back. Inhale here, drawing the shoulders back once again, lifting the chest. As you exhale, use that hugging in at the navel to help you lift your feet any amount off the floor. Now you have the option to keep your hands behind your legs or maybe bring your hands behind you as a kickstand or reach your arms forward, reaching towards the heels. Now let's take an inhale here, chest is proud. As you exhale, start to send your legs out, send your shoulders back, find your low boat. Hug in to lift up as you inhale, and then exhale, lower down to hover. Keep it going, inhale, lift up and in. Exhale, lower to your low boat. 2 more, inhale, bring it in and up. Exhale, lower to hover. You got it, just 1 more. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, lower to hover. Hold here, squeeze the legs together. Inhale. As you exhale, land everything down to the mat. Reach your arms back behind you. Take a full body stretch and let that low belly relax. Release that core connection. Beautiful. Breathing into this entire front line of your body. Maybe stretching out just a little bit more through the fingers and toes. Beautiful. When you're ready, one leg at a time, draw your knees in towards your chest. Take a moment to wrap yourself up in a hug here, reaching for the shins or the backs of the thighs. And it might feel nice to take a little rock side to side, kind of massaging out the low back area. And when you're ready, we're going to take this into our happy baby pose. So opening the knees nice and wide, kicking your heels towards the sky. Hands can find the backs of your thighs, your big toes, wherever it feels comfortable for you to reach. And just gently hugging the thighs down towards your rib cage. We'll find a little stretch, a little sensation for the hips here. Now this shape does not have to be stagnant. If you'd like, you can take a little movement, finding some playfulness here in your happy baby as you rock side to side or bend and straighten the knees. All the while, we're going to keep the low belly relaxed here so we can return to that 360-degree breath through the entire torso. Beautiful. Let's take one more inhale here in our happy baby. As you exhale, bring the legs back together, hugging in at your chest. Arms spread wide to a T or a cactus shape now. Let's stack the knees over the hips. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, drop your legs up and over to that left side of your mat, coming into a twist. So keeping the stacking of your hips, of your knees. Maybe that means you add a prop between or underneath your legs. And if this variation of the legs just isn't feeling great for your body today, please feel free to go somewhere else instead. But feeling this gentle rotation of the spine here, really moving through this entire area that we worked today, this whole space of the core. So as you relax into this twist, see if you can breathe a little bit more fully, using your breath to help this shape, to bring in a little bit more space, to help you release, relax, and to help your body integrate everything that we just did. And we'll stay for one more full breath here. Inhale. And exhale completely. As you inhale, slowly rolling back onto your back, coming back through center. Restacking your knees over your hips. Let's take an inhale here. As you exhale, dropping your knees to the right side of your mat this time. Once again, setting up your legs, either keeping them stacked just as they were, or if you prefer, you can extend that bottom leg. You can bring the feet kind of zigzag patterned on the mat, whatever feels best for your lower body here. And as you settle in, encouraging that left shoulder to ground down towards the mat, giving you a little bit more length through that left side waist. Breathing fully into the space of your low back, your waist, your belly, and allowing for a little bit more of this softness to come into the practice now. And let's stay for one more inhale here. Exhale completely. As you inhale, slowly come back through center, back onto your back. Getting ready to move into your final resting pose for the day. So for you, that might be knees bent, feet planted. You might extend the legs like our more traditional Shavasana, or you might take a different shape completely. Listen to your body, see what's going to feel best for you right now. Ideally settling into a place where your body can completely relax into the support of the earth, letting go of any effort in your body. And if you're not already there, allowing your eyes to close or your gaze to soften. And focusing your awareness back in on your breath. Just like at the beginning of practice, feeling that rise and fall of each inhale and exhale. And allowing that pattern of your breathing to draw you deeper and deeper into this place of rest and relaxation. Shavasana. If you have the opportunity to stay here longer, please feel free to do so. But as you're ready, please begin to bring your awareness back into your body, back onto your mat, back into this space where your body is resting. And inviting some gentle movement back into your body, wiggling your fingers and toes, rolling your wrists and your ankles, moving and stretching in any way that feels good as you reawaken. Eventually using that movement to help you roll onto either side of your body. And pausing there in that place of transition for a few breaths, in and out through the nose. When you feel ready, using your hands to press you back up to a seated position on your mat. And as you arrive back in your comfortable seat, I invite you to bring your hands together in front of your heart, Anjali Mudra. Taking a moment to seal your practice today, thanking yourself for showing up to your yoga mat, for taking this time just for you. And I thank you so much for meeting me on the mat. Namaste.